So now it's time to talk about the Knicks. So Jalen Brunson has been sidelined since March 6th with a sprained right ankle. It's now expected for him to be out from late March to early April. Mase, do you think the Knicks can keep their momentum with the delayed Jalen Brunson return?
Do I think the Knicks can continue their run without Jalen Brunson? Absolutely not. I think all of this is setting up, just in my honest NBA opinion, that KD might land in the Knicks. That's the only good thing I can see coming out of this. To your point, you're saying, do they do better? No, but they'll end up doing better if they get KD. I think it will be a better team, and I think their version of tanking. That's the new way to tank. Just somebody get hurt on the team or act like they hurt. I'm not saying he's not hurt, but I'm saying
he's definitely not acting because that boy has been playing.
Yeah, he's definitely not a guy that would do that. But I'm just saying that's the best thing that could come out of the Knicks right now. Or that they get Zion. They always wanted Zion. Maybe they get Zion this summer. But they're not winning without no Jalen Brunson. To answer your question, can they win without Jalen Brunson? Absolutely not, because he's the heart and soul of the team. You know, if you take the motor out of a car, the car doesn't run, and he's the motor of that team.
Okay, Cam.
To answer the question exactly, could they sustain their lead in the East without Jalen Brunson?
No.
And I'm going to have to say possibly. I was thinking, though, when I first seen this question, but actually they're 4-2 right now without Jalen Brunson this season. You have about 15 games left. They have a 5.5 game lead on Milwaukee. They have actually it's crazy. The Bucks, Pistons, and the Pacers are all tied for 4th place, and the Knicks actually have a 5.5 game lead on all 3 of those teams. They beat Miami by 20 points. I don't know if it was yesterday, day before yesterday. They lost to Golden State by only 3 points in Golden State. I think that they'll be able to hold on. And when I say hold on, to make it without being in the play-in. And that's a goal for the Knicks, especially like Mase said. I'm not going to disagree with Mase on that part. Jalen Brunson is the heart and soul of this team. And if you think you're going to win anything without Jalen Brunson, you're bugging. But the question was, could they sustain their lead? And when I say sustain their lead, I don't know if they'll finish 3rd, but I definitely think that they'll avoid being in the play-in. And avoid being in the play-in without Jalen Brunson for almost a month, I think that's a win in itself, because that's the main thing. Don't get the fuck in that play-in. Anything can happen in that play-in. You lose a game, you go home. You lose 2, you go home. So winning without Jalen Brunson, no. Sustaining to not make it in the play-in, absolutely. I think that they could do that.
Okay.
So when you said sustain the league, you meant...
Yeah. I just said in general, do you think they can keep their momentum?
Yeah, I was thinking, will they stay in 3rd place? That's when I said no. That's what I was saying no to. Will they make the playoffs? Yeah, they could still make the playoffs, but I said definitely to the part of them not being in 3rd place when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
If he's not playing.
You guys still have different kind of answers, though, because Cam's saying it is possible, and you're saying no, it can't happen.
Well, let's look at what's the math on it. Yeah, absolutely. Let's just do the math. What's 42 real quick plus 23 off the top of that? That's 5. That's what, 65 games?
65 games.
65 games. They have 15 games left. A little more than 15 games left, and they have a 5.5 game lead. Detroit is not on no winning streak. Milwaukee, we know now, no definitely streak. These 3 teams that's behind them are all streaky. I don't see Milwaukee going on a 6 or 7 game winning streak. They just lost recently the other day to Shea, and them came in there and they house to spank them. Indiana, up and down. Detroit, they've been having a good season, but are they going to go on the 6, 7, 8, 9 game winning streak? Or the Knicks lose 5, 6, 7 games in a row? I don't know. But if I had to bet on it, I would say the Knicks would stay in third place, just betting wise, but it's not a foregone conclusion. Mase could be right as well, but 5.5 game lead, 17 games left. You better hold the fuck on, nigga.
So let me ask y'all this, just out of curiosity. Let's just do a little quick prediction. So tonight they'll play the Spurs. Can you see them winning that game, Mase and Cam?
I'm about to pull it up. Yeah, without Wemby, yeah, they should win that game.
Okay, Cam?
I agree.
Okay, the Hornets?
I don't know. It depends on what LaMelo they give. Melo comes out smoking, pause, with 40 points, they might lose. They might lose. Who else you got?
I don't see the Hornets beating them neither.
Okay, the Wizards?
Yeah, you're right. They might go run it.
Wizards?
No, you said actually.
Yeah, I mean, if these are the teams they're playing now.
The Wizards just beat the Nuggets night before last. They actually just beat the Nuggets, but I'm picking the Knicks so far about everything you need. Stat real quick, because I know you're ringing off teams, and this is great that you asked, but for those that don't know, a stat that people don't know, the Knicks have the 4th easiest schedule left in the regular season coming up.
Yeah, that's what it's sounding like.
Yeah, I'm sharing my knowledge with you, so you know this now you can make a different decision if you want to make a different decision. They have the 4th easiest schedule. So do you want to change your mind, or do you want to stick to what you said? All right, no problem. That's what I'm asking, if you feel like changing your mind. But you can read some more names stat after Charlotte, but I was just letting you know they have the 4th easiest schedule left in the NBA.
Yeah. After that is the Mavs.
Yeah, it gets really crazy after that. They're not gonna stay on this little easy road. They got LA, they got Milwaukee.
Who does the Mavs have? The Mavs have, first of all, you talk about the Mavs are forfeiting games possibly. Mavs might not even have 8 to play against the Knicks.
Yeah.
So I see them winning that game too.
They might think I could beat these niggas.
It's true.
Yeah, and then they're gonna lose to LA. They're gonna lose to Milwaukee.
Which LA you talking about?
Oh yeah, that's the Clippers.
Yeah, next is the Clippers.
Oh yeah, they might have the Good News Bears schedule.
They're gonna be all right. I mean, and listen, don't get me wrong, they can all lose each game, but that we talking about, any team can win every night. But we know that Jalen Brunson is the heart and soul of this team. But we can't act like it could be argued, if you want to argue, that Karl Anthony Towns is probably, outside of Mobley, probably the best center in the East right now. Who's a better center? You can say Bam Adebayo if you want, but Karl Anthony Towns definitely was the starter for the East Coast at center position this year. He's having a great year this year. He might be the best center. So I don't know Tibbs' game plan, but they should dump the ball inside and let him go to work. He's not a scrub.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, after seeing the schedule, it's like, dang, it kind of.
Now the last six to me is all else, but
the last 6 games of the season.
Yeah, other than Brooklyn.
But that's the point. Jalen Brunson should be back the last 6 games of the season. We just talking about, can they hold on while he not there? And from what they saying, it's probably another week and a half out.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.